Hi, we're playing Nights into Dreams today because I will play anything with a character that makes this expression. Also, clowns are in recently, so we're chasing the trend in a completely wrong direction. Hooray! I myself have no experience with the game, with my only nostalgia for it being one of the first chows I made in Sonic Adventure 2 being a Knights one, making me idly curious about it over my progressingly ancient lifespan. Sega, where's the Chow Garden scandal in game? You could literally print money. A topic for another time, perhaps. While just grabbing this picture, I ended up looking at color combinations and considered booting up the game for breeding for like 15 minutes. Knights is one of the characters that Sega likes to throw all over the place. At the time of writing the script, they have announced that Knights is going to be in Sonic Rumble. I primarily remember them being a car in Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed. And unfortunately, while grabbing pictures, I found this metal Knights that is too badass to ignore and I have to ad-lib them into the video. I guess I'll just have to keep them in my coffee cup for the remainder of the runtime. Now, I'm a little concerned about how close this video will be to the Sonic fanbase. They are known to be a little bit weird. Oh hey, 2 videos in a row with Chia Pets in the intro. My inability to keep on track aside, starting the game now. You know, starting a game you've never played but always somewhat known about can be a bit disheartening. Because now the mystery will be gone, I think. Who is this? What the heck is happening? I watched the opening cutscene before the gameplay, and it doesn't tell me much of anything. Conveyed through the opening scene, we're not told why Knights is here, what we're doing, or anything at all really. Just a jester, casually flying through the mountains. That's an old game for you, I suppose. Later down the line, I accidentally idled too long to see the beginning cutscenes for both of these children, assumably opening up the story. Now in today's video, I will just speculate on what the plot actually is. I could just tell you what's happening off of a wiki, but anybody could do that. So I'll just give you my best guess. Maybe it's accurate. Probably not, though. Although I did get a few hints off the manual, so I do at least know that both of these kids are saving the world in their dreams or something similar. So we will be playing the game as these children, alternating between the 2 of them as the main protagonist. Our opening scene is with Ulala's great ancestor named Clarice. Clarice is having a peaceful dream about being in a meadow singing, before going into a nightmare about an upcoming audition. She then flees the nightmare into the land of dreams, which begins the game. Our other protagonist is named Elliot, who is in a similar situation with his dream. He's dreaming of being super cool as he slam dunks a basketball, then afterwards the rival team takes the ball from him and also slam dunks the basketball, plunging him into the land of nightmares. Okay, I understand Clarice's stress, but Elliot's case, didn't the rival team just tie the score? Like, you didn't even have a big loss. Calm down, my guy. Look at the state of Elliot's room from this from before we got to see the dream. He ripped up his poster. He threw away his basketball. You would think from how he's reacting that LeBron James walked up and punched him in the face, not that some bullies took his basketball and did the exact same thing he was very capable of doing. I can't wait for people to tell me what's actually happening in this story in the comments. We'll suddenly come to find out Elliot's mom got hit by a truck, and that the basketball was a clear representation of his family being taken away from him. Moving on to gameplay, whenever you start a stage as either Clarice or Elliot, you will start by getting viciously mugged of star orb things. We then go over to our title character to transform into them, to take an incredibly indirect route to take back the star orbs from weird jellyfish. There's the character we came here for. Will we be learning about them as well? No. Knights, in the first game anyway, has little to do with anything. They're just the vehicle these children pilot in order to get through their dreams. Gameplay-wise, this is some type of strange racing game, making laps around preset routes while collecting balls, flying through rings, transforming into different things, and occasionally being viewed from a different angle. It certainly isn't traditional, it's quite all over the place. The thing you would expect to be the least important, gathering orbs, is actually our most important goal. We will need 20 orbs in order to destroy the floating Jupiter, and once we have those 20 orbs, we can slam into them with all of our might, causing them to explode. Additionally, you need to do this in a 2-minute timer. If you don't, you'll be forced to transform into whatever kid is dreaming right now and drop straight out of the sky. If this happened, it's not a loss. Make your way back to the starting point and you get to change back into Knights again. After you destroy the jellyfish and return to the start area, you'll complete the current track you've been doing. This will advance the stage a bit, making you do a new lap on a different route. If you finish your lap without destroying the jellyfish, you can repeat the lap until you gather enough orbs to do so. In fact, you can repeatedly loop over the starting line even after destroying the jellyfish to grind for points, because there's no time bonus for returning there. There is a time bonus for how fast you destroyed the jellyfish though. Now, as I write this section, I am only 4 levels in the 8-level game. I'm praying that after my last game, in order to beat this, I don't have to A-rank everything. If I do, then I'll need to actually learn the other remaining mechanics. Otherwise though, this will be enough to get through all of the levels. After each stage, you'll have to face a nightmare boss. Uggos, a lot of them. Most of the bosses don't have traditional health, so they don't have a health bar, making this a strangely minimalist section of what otherwise feels so extra with its gameness everywhere. There's not so much as a hint of what to do with these guys, and if you take too long to figure it out, you'll run out of time. But if you run out of time here, you won't just be returning to the starting line, you will have to go back and do the entire stage all over again. It's a surprisingly harsh punishment for what is overall a chill game. It might be the only punishment unless you can lose in some other way that I missed. Fortunately, with the exception of the cat boss, all of the bosses are fairly straightforward with what you have to do. I think I had to destroy the fireworks here. Whatever it was simple enough that I could do it by accident. Other bosses include the worm from Beetlejuice, a ball woman you chuck through fragile walls, and a knight's lookalike, which I'm sorry to say, but I have to, must be named Days. So, with how much I've played, could I tell you why this game has a cult following and why my wife is literally crying with nostalgia right now? No, I couldn't. I have successfully avoided joining the Knights cult for the time being, but I do enjoy the hype and love around it. After I complete the first 6 areas, the final stages don't unlock. I panic, not again, but when I look it up, you only need C rank on each level to unlock the last. I had 3 out of 6 naturally, with it looking like I mostly had poor scoring in the early stages. Probably just didn't quite feel the controls yet. After repeating the stages to unlock the final one, as it turns out the game kind of only has 7 stages. The 4th stage on each side is the same regardless of which character you play as. The children are blasted away from the captured knights, and without knights giving them a persona to believe in themselves with, they are given no choice but to plunge off of the building.
Rise from your grave.
Yeah, I doubt I got a single person to believe that. After falling, they miraculously gain the power of flight, but this won't last forever. We have a 3-minute timer for this stage, and unlike the other stages, it's not a single lap. That's how long we have total. I don't realize this at first, making my Elliot run of the stage end in a mad panic dash where I succeed with just 1 second left on the timer. Regardless of who you played as, the other protagonists will show up. Together with the power of, oh my god, I can't believe I survived that fall, the 2 young heroes will release the beloved character I know still nothing about, Knights. Both of them will take on the form of knights, which was already plural, so I guess now they have to call them NiGHTSes. The 2 NiGHTSes will fight a large nightmare together, who I assume threatened all of humanity somehow. It's nothing too difficult, even Princess Peach Showtime would be harder. Depending on which character you're playing as, you will get an ending for that child, and if you already completed the game as the other child, the ending will extend.
Huh?
Oh no!
Regardless of the individual ending, they will look up to see knights playing their invisible flute, assumably Pied Pipering them back into another dream. We, having only played the game, still know nothing about knights as a character. Who are you? Who are you? In the end, Knights into Dreams is a game that I can't really compare easily to another title. It was an incredibly relaxing game, with an air of mystery about it that it still has. I feel with the many video games out there are some meant to be played blind, some that can be enjoyed as a video, and some might be enjoyed with constantly having a wiki open to answer every single question about it. Knights was one that I feel should be experienced as a player, rather than a viewer. I can't exactly easily convey what it's like to enjoy this game. I would recommend this to anyone who looks for games that try to be a little different, or people who enjoy a score attack. I myself will probably play any game that is somewhat strange and has anything to do with dreams, a mental space, or something similar that is going to fill that criteria. If you're looking for something short and relaxing, Knights might be the game that helps you get through what you're dealing with right now. Without getting into it, it helped me out a little myself, and I'll probably look at this goofy little gesture rather favorably in crossovers moving forward.